Hello and welcome to the Blackstones, a Blades in the Dark campaign. I am Bill Allan, and we are here for the second session of this campaign. So if you're just tuning in, go rewatch the first episode and then watch this one. But I'll do introductions first, starting on my left with Filip.
So my name is Filip, and in the game I am playing Paul Blackstone, the Akorosi Leech.
Okay. I'm James Bookel. I'm playing Brooks Columbo, the Akorosi Slide.
Hey, I'm Shannon. I'm playing Alex O'Reilly, the Akorosan Spider.
Hi, I'm Lukas. I'm playing Keston Aran, the Skovlan Cutter.
You forgot what you were. You forgot your own national identity.
Yeah, sorry.
You're the only representative of Skovlan politics and ethnicity.
I'm just playing like Ogre right now. That's his old name as
Yeah,
well.
Ogre, Demon.
Mm-hmm. I'm Max. I'm playing Flint Blackstone, the Akorosi Hound.
I'm John. I'm playing Kobb, such as the corn Blackstone, the Akorosi Lurk.
Kobb with a K, to be clear. All right, so we ended the last session. You guys actually tried to acquire some turf, as you recall, and you did admirably until things started to go wrong, which is kind of the whole fun of this game. Things often go sideways. So you had this epic confrontation in your attempt to take some turf from a rival with some tier, and things didn't work out. You ended up getting away with it, but you did not acquire the turf. In the course of this, this very desperate engagement that you guys had with this heist, you acquired some consequences. And one of the biggest consequences was you are now beholden to a demon. What that's going to mean, we will find out in this very episode. But before we do that, we did Downtime. So Downtime is a process in Blades in the Dark where you have a chance to kind of play out, but really abbreviated, what your character does in between heists. So I'm going to go around the table again. We'll start with Filip and just briefly describe what you did. And typically, there are 2 downtime actions per person. You can acquire more downtime actions with coin and other things, but what were the things that you did, just briefly?
I recovered stress, or whatever it's called.
Yes, you reduced your stress.
Yeah, reduced stress.
And how did you reduce your stress?
My obligation, as in running a music store.
That's right. So you basically worked a mundane job.
Yes.
And sold music to people and musical instruments to people,
yes,
which is actually very calming for your character.
Yes.
So that worked out well.
And then I also finished a long-term project, which was Thermite.
Yes, and for those who don't understand how some of these things work, mechanically speaking, there are clocks that in this game that can run from simple clocks with like 4 pi wedges to 6 pi wedges to 8 pi wedges, and the more complex the action or goal that you want to achieve, the more of those ticks that have to be checked off on the clock. So you had been working on the Thermite plan for a while, actually.
Yeah.
So this was started off camera when we were doing the play test. So now you basically have a very, very potent explosive, or the knowledge of how to make it, and you have a prototype. Good. All right, James, what did you do with your downtime?
First of all, I went along kind of a similar path, reducing stress, and the way I reduce that is with luxury. So how that works for Brooks is he kind of comes from a little bit more wealthier background. He practiced law, so it's kind of going around and just kind of like spending money on like staying at like nice hotels and stuff, going to clubs, buying like nice new clothing and everything, jewelry, so all that. And then for my other action, I started working on a cane gun. So I have a cane sword that I like prized possession. That in the bottom it pulls out, it's a rapier, and I am working a kind of like breech-loaded pistol like into the end of it.
Yes, a one-shot kind of operation. Excellent. All right, Shannon.
All right, so during downtime, I reduced stress that I took from the last mission, and as well reduced the damage that I have, where I healed myself
That's right.
during downtime.
You had taken harm, and the extent to which you take harm, the more harm you take, the more it takes from your downtime to recover your health, right? So you would have found a physiker. One of you guys had a contact. Yeah, you had a contact who was a physiker, so you were able to heal up some of that harm. Was it all the harm or some of it?
It was all.
Yeah, and then so stress. And what, remind me again, what did you do to relieve your stress? What's your vice?
So, Alex is a stupor. He likes to go around, have a few drinks, able to reduce some stress.
Right. So in your downtime, you got hammered and you saw a doctor. I mean, that makes a lot of sense.
In order.
Yes, in that order. Pain relief and pain relief. All right, so across the table, Lukas, what did you do? What did Demon do for downtime?
Demon trained prowess, because that's the thing he does. He just loves destroying stuff. And then, secondly, he reduced his stress via obligation to the Skovlan people.
Yeah,
so-
what was that last round? Because you got kicked out of, you actually lost a contact, right? Didn't you get kicked out of the library?
Yeah, I was wearing the coat, the Skovlan coat I got last episode as well, while studying Skovlan literature, and they're like, "Get the hell out of here! We don't want you here." I'm like,
That's right. That was a consequence. So yeah, you actually lost that. So so training, that's another downtime action. If you don't have harm and heat, you can actually devote some of your downtime to training up things. So good. All right, Max, what'd you do?
I was really hurt, so I basically just used downtime to relieve stress and heal myself.
And what was your vice for stress relief?
Gambling, which is also why I no longer have any coin in my inventory.
That's right. You were broke, but it feels good, right?
Kinda.
Yeah. It's like when you go to Vegas and you have tons of money and then you come back and you're broke. And you're like, I had fun.
I would think you gain more stress by losing all of your money.
Nah, he enjoys it.
Nah, it's fine.
Yeah. All right. And then last but not least, John, what did Kobb do for his downtime actions?
I got rid of all my harm by partaking in Demon's physiker friend and paying
I love Sawtooth.
2 coin.
Excellent. Yeah, you were very harmed, weren't you?
Yes, I had a harm from the first heist we ever did.
Yeah, you were carrying around
I was carrying that with me.
like just a broken arm for most of the time. Like, oh, my clavicle really hurts still because ouch. All right, so you guys did downtimes. So a few weeks have passed. The downtime has been good for a couple reasons. Number one, you guys have not been very active in the heist scene, which has sort of helped your crew to avoid acquiring heat in that sense. Also, Mr. Chair has not bothered you at all during this time. So you've had a couple weeks off. And maybe even you've thought to yourselves, like, maybe he just forgot about the demon pact that we made with him. Maybe he's not going to bother us. So we will pick up where you guys you're up in your loft-style apartment, if we could call it that, above Gary's Deli. And it's also been quiet as well in Coleridge. You guys have had, your contacts who are street savvy have told you that things have gone oddly quiet in Coleridge for a number of strange reasons. Number one, the Bluecoats, for some reason, have had a increased presence in Coleridge. You're not really sure why yet. You can find out more about that. But you've also heard that there might be a strike. There might be a strike from Night Market, from where they unload the trains. And that the workers there have been very discontented recently, that there have been a number of disruptions and that there have been a number of situations where they've had to close down the station. But again, you're not really too certain about why that is. So that's where you find yourselves. Feeling a little better, less stressed. Rumors on the street, things have been kind of quiet.
You know, I'm gonna be honest. I'm gonna take a bet here and say Ulf is probably behind that strike. Seeing as how we busted one of his earlier.
I forgot about that guy.
Yeah.
I didn't.
Of course you didn't. Anyways, what's our plan today, boys? What are we gonna do?
Maybe the Wongs, like you suggested before. We always need new friends. Can't always rely on the lamp blacks.
Having a neutral relation would be nice, I will admit.
I will say.
What do you guys think?
We should try to figure out what's up with with so many more blue coats around, because we're not doing so hot with them right now, and that's kind of my fault.
I mean, I have that spy friend that I have a good reputation with. I could ask him, maybe.
That would probably be a good idea.
I don't know. I have a +1 rep with him, I think, because he hired us for the train thing.
Oh yeah.
So,
Do any of you have contacts on your sheet related to the blue coats?
Yes. But it is.
Who is your contact?
It is Jaren, a blue coat archivist, but I have a negative relationship with him. So probably not the best idea to go and ask him.
Okay. Do any of you guys have other contacts that might give you street information?
I have a Clyra tavern owner.
I have a vicious thug.
You just call him vicious.
Wow.
There's a cold killer.
Okay. Do you want to go see, who is it?
Clyra.
Clyra. Clyra?
Clyra. K-L-Y-R-A.
Clyra. Okay. And is Clyra's tavern in Coleridge, or is it in Night Market?
I don't know.
You decide.
This does not take rocket science, man.
Coleridge.
In Coleridge. Okay. So you pay a visit to Clyra. You don't mind ordering some fancy drinks. And essentially, Clyra seems a little bit nervous at first when you go to visit her. And she tells you that the increased presence of the blue coats is because an inspector, which is like the top ranking member of the blue coats, like rank wise, an inspector detective has been commissioned to study what's going on in Coleridge. They have some reason to believe that like there's suspicious people, not just your normal gangs, but like that there's some kind of suspicious sort of upstart going on in this area, and that this blue coat inspector detective has been seen asking a lot of questions, specifically to kind of foremen, like the kind of higher ranking members of the different labor groups, asking a lot about their memberships, getting like ledgers of who they're paying, who are on their payrolls, that kind of stuff. But that's all she seems to know. She says that like a few of the blue coats have come in for drinks and they kind of had a few too many and they were sort of loud and complaining, like they're not really happy about this new inspector detective. And she doesn't know his name.
Just from any prior knowledge, would we know if there's any like uniform change between the regular ranking blue coats and the inspectors?
You know that oftentimes the inspector detectives don't dress in uniform, like on purpose.
Okay.
They dress in civilian clothes so that they're not noticed.
Awesome.
So that's what you get from Clyra.
Okay. Well, that's some decent information.
Okay. Anybody else want to tap any contacts or anything like that, or do you guys just want to move straight into what your next heist is going to be? Because I'm pretty sure you can all use some coin at this point.
That would be good, and I think.
So what's it going to be? Take a look at your rep with your different groups, figure out what you want to do.
Okay, so worst comes to worst, we could always go back to the Lampblacks. They're pretty much all reliable at this point for giving us missions, as well as since we have a +2 reputation.
Yeah.
But definitely, I think the Wongs are another big sort of gang that we need at least a neutral relationship with, so maybe we could...
Well, yeah, we do have a
negative.
that drop one with them.
Maybe we can go over and negotiate some kind of mission for them.
That's probably.
What do you guys think?
I mean, yeah, we're just gonna walk up to them and ask for a job after.
Well, I mean, we can use contacts to find out where we could possibly get one.
Right.
Yes, yeah.
I do have. I could always go back to that information broker that I have. Salia.
I
So-
beat them once, we can beat them again.
We're not trying to beat them this time. We're trying to help them.
Worst comes to worst.
Well, in the process, by helping them, if we can do something to try to prove that we're better,
Then
try to work up a little bit, or try to get them more on our side instead of us on their side.
Yeah.
All right. I think
All right.
I think that's a good idea. I think we should try to roll with that.
Okay, so in the gathering of information, who's your contact again?
I have Salia, an information broker.
Okay, so Salia is definitely willing to give you information as needed related to the Wongs for a mere coin. Just one. Because she's a contact.
Okay.
1 coin.
Yeah.
Okay, minus it off.
If you need one, I have some.
No, I got some.
Salia, you meet up with Salia at this small cafe. And she's having some tea, mushroom tea, of course, because mushrooms. And she tells you that the Wongs have been moving around and diversifying their business. They were able to rebuild / renovate the Jade Dragon, the place where they, kind of had their whole vice and gambling done. But they have also moved into smuggling now. And apparently they have made some agreements with some other crews to do a bit of smuggling from Night Market to some of the other districts.
Is there any namely crews that she can give me?
She tells you that there's a crew called the Gondoliers who aren't so much a criminal operation. They're a legitimate business. And they ferry, goods around the different canals throughout Duskhall. But apparently, the Gondoliers have been willing to ferry some illicit goods and smuggle some things on behalf of the Wongs. And that this newer kind of enterprise is involved in all of their kind of diversifying their business. She also tells you that there is another faction who's not so happy about this new arrangement with the Wongs and the Gondoliers because it's cutting into their business. And she says that faction also works the canals and also is mostly involved in smuggling. And that faction is called the Washbucklers.
I knew it.
Okay. Good information. Glad to know. Is there anywhere we can go to ask specifically for like an escort transport sort of mission that we can
So
do?
I would think we would want to go to the Gondoliers,
The Gondoliers and ask?
see if they need it, and try to, and almost secondhand get into with the Wongs.
Potentially, but I was thinking we could go to the Jaded Dragon, even though that is the place where we...
To be fair, I was not in that one,
Yeah.
so that would probably be. I could probably go in and talk with that.
Oh yeah, he
when
wasn't here, so...
when he
I
drank
wasn't
the
here for
rage,
that one.
and then me and Shannon went and I dragged her out of the bed.
Yeah.
That was the one that I went.
So, and
That
yeah,
was the intimidation. You guys went in there and basically,
The tide.
at the time, they were kind of a newly arrived criminal organization. And so you kind of smashed up their business a bit and intimidated them into starting to pay a tithe, which is how you gained reputation with the Lampblacks, wasn't it?
Yeah.
yes.
So,
And now it's +2.
Plus Ulf.
So here's the thing: conflict of interest. Washbucklers aren't going to be happy with this. Wongs will be happy with this. Are the Lampblacks not going to like that we're working with the Wongs?
I'm gonna be honest,
Yeah, we can keep it quiet. They won't find out.
We'll see. I don't think the Lampblacks hate the Wongs. It's just the fact that the Wongs didn't pay a tithe at the very beginning.
Okay.
So now that they're paying it, they might be on neutral grounds with each other.
Okay.
So I think it's worth taking a look to see if the Wongs want any missions done.
All right, that's what
We potentially may go to war with the Washbucklers.
So, it's the
know.
Washbucklers.
We had no problem with them when we first got
Yeah,
to
I know.
Dustfall. It's fine.
Didn't we shoot each other at one point?
What?
No.
Probably.
You guys did kill several of the washbucklers.
Yeah.
You may recall the tolling of the Belz and bodies that sunk into the bottom of the canal.
That's how I got
Now,
a nickname.
you know, I mean, even without being a whisper, you know what happens if a corpse isn't claimed by the spirit wardens within a certain time period. Those ghosts can go free in Duskfall.
Oh wait,
Ghost boat people.
that might bite us because if the washbuckler ghosts are free, either they're still tied to the gang themselves, or they might be seeking vengeance. Which guess who they might be seeking vengeance on?
Me.
Yeah, mainly Lukas.
Yeah.
Mainly demon.
That was the adventure where Ogre became demon
Yeah.
because he was painted in blood of other people.
I was not here for that.
Oh yeah.
So-
You gonna make pretzels?
You guys have found yourselves in an interesting situation. What do you guys want to pursue? Let's get this game rolling.
Yeah, I vote for Wong mission.
Yeah.
I'm on board with that.
Sure.
Wong
Okay.
mission.
Wong, some sort of mission for the Wongs.
Okay, now the question is, before I do the engagement roll, what sort of plan do you want to do to get this mission with the Wongs? Do you want to approach the Wongs directly? Do you want to go through the Lampblacks? How do you want to do this?
I feel like it would be nice to have a sort of friendly approach, at least, a friendly approach to the Jaded Dragon, see if we can find someone that could potentially give us a mission. And we need to show a sort of sign of, we're not here to harm, we're here to help, in a sense, so we can build that relationship forward.
We have a little bit of coin we could put up if need be.
Yeah,
Kind of
so
make that.
Go forward.
Yeah.
I mean,
So you're extending the branch of peace towards
Yes.
the Wongs. Is that your
Yes.
attempt? So I'm going to say that this is a social engagement initially. Okay, great. Anything else that I should know about?
any input?
No,
Just have me in front.
Okay, the engagement roll
Bodyguard.
has been made.
Let's hope it's not bad like last time.
It's not as bad because last time was a 1.
Oh, it's not as bad.
Don't worry, this time it's a 2.
Okay, so
We're just working our way up.
cut to the action because Blades in the Dark doesn't like a lot of too much plotting and planning.
Interlude.
You guys are literally walking in to you're going to be walking in, right? Before we determine that, what's your loadout?
True, we gotta figure that out.
Remember that your
I'm gonna be
food
honest.
bonus allows you to have a little more
extra.
load
2 bonus?
for the price of less load.
I'm just gonna do my normal load.
I would prefer
oh,
not
yeah,
to go
that was
in
really
too heavy.
Free load of.
I need to know if anybody's
I didn't
going
see what it was.
full on encumbered
I'm just doing heavy.
I'm doing-
because
I'm doing
it
light.
basically means that there's no way to visibly hide your weapons. So I need to know that if you're walking into a casino / brothel with weapons, obviously.
Also, don't forget the +1 to either hunch, skirmish, or wreck we get to choose. I'm just pointing that out now.
Yes.
I'm gonna keep mine in skirmish.
Give myself one.
Okay. So, you guys take a stroll one evening into Night Market. And you're twisting and turning around Night Market, which is very aptly named because even though it's nighttime, there's tons of people in the streets. There's, all sorts of taverns and gambling casinos and other kind of places and shops open and food vendors and all sorts of stuff. As you approach, you're walking up to the Jade Dragon, and it is bustling. There's a line of people waiting to get in. There are 2 rather large Peruvian doormen, and you can visibly see that they have like wooden batons kind of on their belts. So you guys walk up, and because of the engagement roll, you walk in, you flash a coin, and they admit you right to the front of the line. You just walk in. Minus off the coin, James.
Thank you for being our coin man.
Yeah.
We're gonna get some from this mission anyways.
You bypass the line, they welcome you right in. You go in and see that they have made major renovation. Like, it looks even nicer and more exotic than it did previously. As you come in, the wafting smell of different sorts of vices hits you. The smell of different smokable vices, the wafting, almost like incenses, through the air. There's like a haze of smoke. It's very colorfully decorated in kind of like very vibrant colors of the Eruvian culture. And you hear laughter. There's music being played. There's like a quartet playing music, very lively Eruvian style music. People are dancing. There's kind of these little areas all the way around that are sort of like not tapestry, like fabrics hanging and like pillows and hookahs in the middle, and people are just, the place is packed. You do notice that the back door is still there. You do also notice that there are hospitality people, if you know what I mean. Prostitutes, of all gender. And they're working, and the bar is very busy. So as you go in, you see that there is just one very large Eruvian man guarding the back door. You see that occasionally a prostitute will bring one of their clients to the back door, and he will unlock it and open it, and you see them go into the back.
You've got probably the most sway here, so I think you should go up and ask to see who we can talk to about a mission.
All right, yeah.
Sway away.
All right, so I'll just walk up to them, just kind of go.
To the doorman in the back door?
Sure.
Or the bartender?
I would recommend the bartender. They typically know what's going on.
Yeah. So I'll do that. I'll try up. I'll just go up. I'll get a drink and just ask them. We're trying to get along some work, kind of similarly to the gondoliers. How is that going? And would you know who we could talk to kind of get involved in that?
Make that sway roll.
Okay. I got my 2. I got something to waste. We're gonna go ahead and push it right off the bat.
I mean, this is a
I'm using your fancy die.
important role.
It's a very important role.
6.
Oh yes, 6. We're good.
All
right. So you see at first when you start to talk to him about it, and you mention the gondoliers, he kind of looks around and stuff, and then he nods toward the end of the bar, and you see he grabs like a bottle and a glass, and he walks to the end of the bar, and he sets the glass in front of you, and he starts pouring you some wine, and he says you will want to talk to Mr. Eddie Wong. I can send for him if you'd like. Let him know that you would like to speak to him. Who should I say is calling?
Brooks.
Brooks. He nods to the other bartender. He disappears around the bar, goes over to the back door. You see him kind of like talking with the doorman in the back. He lets him through. About 10 minutes later, he returns. In that time, though, what are all of you guys doing?
I know I'm definitely keeping an eye on the bodyguards around the room, since everyone here, besides Brooks, was here for the heist on the Jaded Dragon, so I feel like we should be weary, in a sense.
Yeah, low profile.
What do we get?
No, I'm gonna blow. I'm gonna
Just like playing with a grenade.
attach a C4 to the wall.
So you step up to like any number of the dice games or card games that are going on. You know what? Let's do this. Let's roll a fortune roll.
Ooh. Play some dice.
Not this
Go
again.
ahead.
5.
You actually win a coin.
I walk up to the guy. I'm like, wait, were you the one I beat up?
Go ahead and make a consort roll.
Oh my god,
Please
dude.
tell me that you have no dice in that.
He doesn't.
Why? Pick the lower of the 2 dice.
Why?
Oh my god.
He goes, no, I don't know what you're talking about, sir.
Oh, apologies then. And I
Like,
just,
perhaps you would like a drink at the bar.
I'm poor.
He says, perhaps you shouldn't be here then.
I have business here.
He says, and he says something in Eruvian.
I say something back in Skovlan like, hey, what's he saying? Just out loud.
He's like, And he just keeps an eye on you. All right, Max, what are you doing?
I also want to do some gambling. Is there any chance I can also release some stress by doing that?
It is your vice.
I'm still pretty stressed.
It is technically his vice.
The one coin.
It is your vice, but this is not downtime.
Okay.
I will let you do the gambling roll, though.
Yeah,
if you
sure.
like.
Why not?
Gambling.
Gamble. 2. You lose a
You
coin.
lose a coin.
No more
The
coins.
house
But
is
you
very
had fun
happy to
doing
have
it.
you continue. All right,
you
John,
had
what
fun.
is Kobb doing?
I got some coin to burn. I'm gonna gamble too.
Okay, let's gamble.
We need coin, guys.
You win a coin.
We're getting
There you go.
I mean, we can just gamble away and just leave.
I'm just causing problems.
I've gained coin. This is a good day.
5 minutes later, the bartender returns. He goes, Mr. Wong will see you momentarily. Just wait here.
I'm gonna walk up next to him and be like, hey, do you think when he comes back, ask if I can come with?
As of now, we're pretty good. We're set up. They're going. Said I have to talk to this guy, Eddie Wong. I'm assuming higher up. I don't know if any of them know the name.
Most likely, either the owner of this fine establishment or someone else.
James, Mr. Wong.
But it is particular. You have the last name Wong.
Exactly.
So
this should be good.
A few moments later, another member of the security team, you could tell because he has that same wooden club by his side. He comes over and he goes, Brooks?
Yes.
He says, follow me. Mr. Wong will see you now.
By any chance would I be able to bring my associates as well?
He looks and he's like, no. Nope. Mr. Wong will see you.
All right.
Your associates can wait here.
Good luck.
He leads you to the back. The back door guy unlocks the back door, opens it up. You follow.
Yep.
He leads you down the hallway. And this is the hallway where there are multiple small 10 by 10 rooms that have beds in them. So you hear a variety of sounds coming from all of those rooms because this is a place of vice and pleasure. But you go around the corner and this exterior hallway, you keep going and you get to a office. He opens the door for you and you see a middle-aged Eruvian man sitting at a desk. And the middle-aged Eruvian man takes his spectacles off and sets them down and he's like, Brooks, is it?
Yes, sir.
Please, sit.
Go ahead and sit down.
And he says, thank you, David. And the guard closes the door. So you're in this, and it's not a fancy office. Like by comparison to the main bar of the Jade Dragon, it is very drab, very kind of gray, very plain. You see a series of like file cases, like wooden shelves with all sorts of paperwork. It looks like kind of a business office. He says, so Brooks, I am Eddie Wong. I was told that you were interested in doing some work related to our business with the gondoliers.
Yes.
He says, I'm not familiar with you or your organization. How is it that you came to be aware of our business with the gondoliers?
We have a few informants that work alongside us, keep us in the know, kind of let us know what's going on, keep us on top of things, help us stay a little bit undercover. Some business with a few other notable.
I see. And you and your associates, do you do similar business to the gondoliers, or in what capacity do you seek employment?
We prefer, with the group that we have amassed, we prefer smuggling, moving of goods, transportation, every once in a while stealing some stuff.
Well, transportation is currently what the gondoliers are doing for us in this regard.
Right.
Would you say that your associates and you, do you ever perform any sorts of, let's say, security?
We very well could.
He says, we have had a wonderful working relationship with the gondoliers thus far. However, very recently, we came across some problems. You see, there's a small, rather annoying group of individuals who believe that the canals are their domain and had never previously offered up any sort of obstacles to the gondoliers. In fact, let's say that they had though they worked in the same sort of transport industry, they had very different clients. However, now these upstarts, they seem to be pushing in on this specific avenue of our relationship with the gondoliers. The gondoliers do not employ heavy security teams, as they have not needed to do so previously. We want to make sure that our next shipment with the gondoliers has no obstacles. He says, I would be interested in seeing what you could do to provide security for that shipment. The gondoliers will do the transportation. You would provide security for the gondoliers on our behalf to ensure that the shipment makes its way through the canals. Do you see this as being something that you and your crew could do?
Very well so. We do have experience with the canals, and we do have some experience with the, what do they call it? The washbucklers.
Ah, you know them then.
Yes.
You should know that the washbucklers have grown up a bit in the last month or so. There seem to be some of their members who are a bit more attuned, shall we say.
Understandable.
Now, it is paramount that we have an understanding. For this sort of business, I do not have contracts, for obvious reasons. All services will be repaid in coin upon completion of the task. You understand that it will be crucial for you and your crew to ensure the entire shipment is delivered without any disruptions. A loss of any part of the shipment will void our agreement. How many members of your crew do you think you would be able to bring to this endeavor?
Including myself, 6.
That should be sufficient.
I will say I would very gladly count one of my members as up to 2 to 3. The Skovlans are known to be quite strong.
Yes, one of my men advised me about the Skovlan, who's currently out in the tavern now. I was also advised that he's been seen here before, under, shall we say, not as desirable circumstances.
I am aware.
Are you familiar with the proprietor of this establishment? My family owns multiple establishments around Duskwall now. We seek to diversify, and when we first came here, we were not entirely familiar with, shall we say, the politics. We are in good standing now with another group here who operates in Night Market and in other districts. The Lamp Blacks. Have you heard of them?
Yes.
We also are in very good standing now with the Bluecoats. We see eye to eye. That is to say that we provide them with several donations on a regular basis. And they provide us with a certain sort of freedom to operate. So you understand that in coming to an agreement with me, you are in a roundabout way coming to an agreement with both the Lamp Blacks and the Bluecoats.
That is very well understood.
So, I will provide you with the information for where to meet the gondoliers once they have obtained the cargo. You will need to ensure that their boats make it to the destination. Well, then we have an accord.
Believe we do.
He stands up, walks across to the other side of the desk, extends his hand. You shake hands. He opens the door and he says, please, wait out in the bar, enjoy a beverage, and I'll have my man bring you some paperwork. He nods. Okay. You head back down to the bar. You're waiting for about 10 minutes, and another one of the security guards comes up to you, and he slides an envelope across to you on the bar, and he walks away. Okay. So, you guys leave. You go back to your lair, and you open up the envelope, and you see basically a sketch, a map that indicates where you're going to be meeting in a canal south of Night Market. And it kind of shows the route. And then on the bottom of that page, he has a contact. And the contact's name is the member of basically the captain of this mission for the gondoliers. And his name is Jethro.
Jethro. Is his last name Toe by any chance?
No.
Aw.
So you know where to meet, you know who to meet, and then the last thing that's indicated on the map is the time. And it is indicated that at 1 a.m. tomorrow, the full next day. So you guys basically have like kind of a full 24 hours to kind of prepare and come up with this plan. You have the map of the canal route, who you meet, when you meet. So, what would you like to do to prepare, if anything?
We learned hard last time. We need something that can deal stuff to
Ghostly figures.
Ghostly figs.
You have
I'll
those
take the ghost bullets.
Judging.
anti-ghost rounds.
Do we have anything
And I
else?
will let you guys adjust your load, your loadout now, because this is kind of segued from the first part to the second part.
I think that's good. I think that went really good with the Wongs.
I think it did well. Yeah.
Okay,
That could be a good
cool.
start.
Adjusting, loadout, Justin.
Still gonna take my fine bottle of whiskey.
Okay, yeah, I'm gonna.
You have 20 seconds left to adjust your loadout.
Sweet.
I just decided to start a clock in my brain. Yes,
Taking
John?
a
I know
look.
how many boats there are.
There are two. I'm sorry.
Okay.
There are two.
Okay.
These are
Second
long
pistol.
canal boats.
So
They're smuggling boats because they look like normal cargo boats, but inside the boats is goods that are not legal.
There's two boats with two separate things on them, right? That we need to defend.
Right.
So we should have three people on one boat, 3 people on the other.
Actually, you don't know. You know there's two boats. You don't know the layout of the cargo. You don't know what's in what. There might be illicit goods on both boats. There might be illicit goods on just one boat, and the other one is legit stuff. You don't know specifically the layout of those.
And Eddie Wong made it very, very specific that we cannot lose any bit of the cargo,
Any bit of their cargo.
of their cargo.
So we don't know where it is,
I would
and
say,
there's two boats.
as brutal.
And the gondoliers always have 2 people on each boat. So you know there's going to be a total of 4. One of those would be your
Jethro.
contact, Jethro.
We should try and find him before we board. See if we can
Well,
figure
we'll pretty
something
much
out
be
with him.
finding it.
Before everyone boards, if he
We're
doesn't.
going to have
that is.
about probably, I'd assume if anything happens, 5-10 minutes to discuss with him. So we'll probably have a decent amount of time to figure it out.
Yeah.
Looking at the sketch of the map of it, is it just going to, are we just pretty much going to have to stay on the boats?
There's no room for you on the boats.
Oh,
So the kind of canal route winds from below, from south of Night Market up to the north and west. So you're going to like richer districts. Because again, the gondoliers are a
keeping fine
legitimate
clothes then.
organization, right? So,
Right.
so you will have to plan to follow along that route.
Okay.
Now, how you do that, that's up to you guys. You're going to have a boat. You're going to go along the docks and follow. You're going to set up different checkpoints. In 30 seconds, tell me your plan.
Could we try something where we remember where Filip we made? Oh wait, no, you weren't there. Where we made Filip make like the the rope that stopped the boats. Remember that plan when we
Right.
first encountered them? What if we tried doing that along the route to
Why-
stop boats?
Why would we stop
Were
boats?
the boats?
No,
Don't
no,
forget,
from other
He's talking
ways.
about stopping the washbucklers.
He's helping the washbucklers. I think if we set up,
The gondolas are like 15 feet long.
I think the canals are like 20, 25 feet wide.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, that's not that bad.
It's not that bad. So because
So
we can be
each
pretty
gondola
close.
holds like 3 crates
Yeah,
with a person in the front, person in the back. kind
you're a
of thing.
sniper. You're our sniper. This is up to you. If we want to move rooftops.
Let's not get too detailed.
Too detailed.
Because I feel like part of Blades in the Dark is about jumping into the action. So
Okay.
I would say
Move
that
along the
you're...
docks, I'd say.
A
Yeah.
couple people following. If we want to do checkpoints, we'll do checkpoints.
Okay.
I can follow on the side because I can move quietly.
Yeah, I can follow along the side too.
Excellent. We jump into things, and
Let's
because
go
of
for
your
it.
engagement roll, you guys go at the appointed time, and you actually meet up with Jethro. Now, you're not meeting up where they're loading in the cargo. They already have the
They
cargo
have
in the
cargo.
boats. But they meet you at this checkpoint just south of Night Market. You see, Jethro sees you guys, and he says, "Are you Brooks?"
Yes.
He says, "All right, you guys ready?"
Yes. We're gonna have these two. They're gonna be moving alongside you on the docks. The rest of us, we're going to be, a few of us will also be following, and need be, but a couple of us, we're going to check ahead, keep some other offshoots, just an eye on it.
Okay.
And if we see anything, we will let you know immediately. If you hear some loud noises, just be wary.
The only thing we're focusing on is getting these boats
I have one
to their
question.
destination. We don't stop unless we have to. Let's go. And they start paddling forward. Okay, so you guys are following along. The boat's going fine. It starts to make a turn, a bend in the canal. And up ahead, you see a oncoming boat, not a nice gondola, but kind of a crappy barge. And it's coming towards, and it has 4 guys on that.
Do they have washbuckler attire?
You can't tell, it's dark.
I'm going to move ahead just on the
have
side,
Okay,
and just kind of keeping an eye on them as I'm moving by.
okay.
I'm gonna try and prowl and get up next to them, see if I
Make
can.
that prowl roll, John.
Let's go, John. Let's see.
Prowl
this.
it up, buddy.
Prowl it up.
2 and a 1.
Nice.
Let's go.
You're going along, and you step on a very squeaky board, and it cracks.
Dear God.
The crack of the board, you when that board cracks, you see 2 of the guys that are on the crappy barge that's moving to basically intercept. 2 of them jump into the water, like dive into the murky water.
Oh, I know what they're doing. They're ramming the gondola.
You see there's still 2 guys on the crappy barge, and they're paddling furiously.
Are any of you two with him?
I was also following alongside.
What do you do, Max?
We need to get onto that boat and turn its course.
Or shoot them.
All right.
I'm jumping up.
Yeah, no, here, I'll try to, can I
have
run
a
along
gun.
the docks and try
I
to get
brought 2
onto the
guns.
boat?
Yes.
All right, I'm going to do that.
Awesome. I have no idea what roll even to make. What's a physical roll that
Athletics.
would
No,
fit?
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Nicely played.
I have prowl.
I mean,
Prowl's moving
I think
quietly.
I feel like
You're not
Quietly.
sneaking.
finesse.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
I have none in that, but
Okay,
all right.
great.
Let's go.
I mean,
Let's see.
3 and a 3, double 3.
Okay, you actually you go to jump. You get a running jump, and you splash into the water like 5 feet away from the barge. But that splash now attracts the attention of the 2 guys who are still on the barge, and they turn at you and they're like, "What the? What do you do?"
I'm gonna do the same thing and try to jump onto their boat.
Go ahead.
Just fall through the boat.
5.
Oh my god.
You make it. You get a running jump and you make it onto the crap barge, and they're like, "Oh!" And now you're there. What are you doing?
I don't know where I am.
This is happening. So you guys ran up ahead, right?
We ran up ahead.
So you're
Sure, you can move
but you hear some sounds and some commotions, and you see as the 2 gondolas are coming towards you, there's a barge coming from like a side canal that's trying to kind of block them off, and you hear a splash, you hear a crack of wood from one of the docks, and then you see Demon jump and land on that barge.
Again.
Okay, I'll start moving towards them with one of my pistols drawn. ready to try to take out one of the guys.
Okay.
We don't even know if these are the ones.
What are you doing?
I'm just gonna keep handing up and keep my hand on a gun. I'm just gonna like yell out, "Hey, who are you?"
Okay.
To the guys who he just jumped on their boat.
Okay.
I'll keep watch. I'll be tagging along with Brooks here.
Okay. So you're in the water. You're on the dock. You can see what's happening. Your foot just went through this board, and then you are on the boat.
I clasp both of their shoulders and I'm like, you're gonna stop this intercept course and you're gonna turn right around or I'm gonna kill you both.
I feel like that's a strong intimidation move. What would be the best roll for that?
Command?
I think that's a command, indeed.
What's your command?
1.
You might want to push yourself.
Push myself.
Wait, if it's a 1,
And it was
Six.
worth it.
Oh my
6.
God.
All right, minus off the stress. You can minus off 1 stress because you're in a position, pretty good position at this point. They're like, oh, okay, and they start diverting they put the oars in the water, and you see the barge start to slowly kind of turn. You're not sure if it's going to make it in time as the other gondolas from the gondoliers are coming forward.
Start rowing.
what happened to the 2 guys that jumped off?
There's 2 in the water.
That's a great question.
Strength to just stop.
Max,
The boat hits
you
them.
feel 2 hands grasping at your legs from underwater, pulling you down. What would you like to
cool.
do?
Can I just try to like kick them off me?
Yeah,
as I
go ahead
pull
and
myself on the
skirmish.
boat. All right, cool.
You might want to help him.
I did not use
He
my
can't.
extra
He's
point.
on
I'm
the
gonna
dock.
put
I
1
know.
point
I
into
know.
skirmish real quick. That's a 1.
Oh, Max.
You are going to take a harm.
Very cool.
You are pulled into the murky water.
Actually, a lot of harm.
I have a lot of harm.
And not only are you pulled into the murky water, but
no.
your legs have been clawed. Your legs are scratched up by claws from the murky water. John, you are seeing this happening. What would you like to do?
I kind of want to just try and shoot in the water underneath you.
No, that's not gonna work.
No.
No, that's not gonna work. The boat will literally
Get
just
him
fall
out.
apart the second it hits the water.
Okay. How far is the dock to the water itself?
10 feet.
It's true.
Is there any rope around me I can use to lower it down to him?
Do you have rope in your
I do
loadout?
not have rope on me.
Do you,
Is there any
do you
around-
have any space left in your loadout?
And not unless I want to go to heavy.
Do you want to go to a flashback?
Yes.
Yes.
All right.
I'm going to go flashback where?
That flashback will cost you 1 stress.
All right.
As you were loading up and trying to avoid being heavily loaded up, it occurred to you that rope doesn't weigh that much, and you're like, it might be worth having some rope. So you actually brought a rope with not a full-on grappling hook, but it's just got like a hook. So
May as
you
well
have a
take
rope and a
2.
hook.
Oh no.
What would you like to do with that?
Get my 8 ropes.
I'm going to hook it onto something sturdy, lower myself down, and try and grab him.
I like that.
Hey, what's your loadout?
Rope.
16 lanterns.
What are the different prowess options here?
Prowess, finesse, prowl, skirmish, wreck.
I feel like this would. How are you doing this? You doing this swiftly? Because if you are, I feel like this would be a finesse roll.
Yeah. Let's
Finesse roll?
try a finesse roll.
All right. I have 2
What's
of
your
them.
2 in finesse?
2 in
Good.
finesse.
He's good at that.
I am.
You're good at finessing people.
4.
Okay.
Wow.
You're like, you slide down, you get a little rope burn on your hands, and you reach out your hand, and you're like looking up through the murky water. There's barely any visibility, but you see some motion above. You reach up and grab Kobb's hand, and he pulls you up out of the water, away from the clawing things.
Okay.
You're soaking wet. All right, you guys, you're there. I mean, you're in the vicinity.
Yeah.
Okay, what would you like to do? You see Demon on the barge, and it looks like he's like intimidated the 2 guys, and they're kind of back paddling. And the gondolas are getting closer to that bend.
I think we also designated that he's also helping rowing now that he intimidated the 2 to start. So he's also assisting.
Okay.
Picks up the boat.
I kind of want to look further up ahead to see if there's like anything going on up there.
That's probably smart.
Really?
Yeah.
I like that idea. Let's see. What would that be? Takes the character sheet.
Anything else?
Why don't you survey? because you don't have any dice in that.
Ooh, have we used that before?
Well, I mean, you are surveying the situation, right?
Yeah.
So you're going to go scout it up.
Yeah.
That would be a roll 2 dice, take the lower of the 2, or
And then push
you could push yourself.
Did you
A
clear
little
stress?
bit of stress gives you
Yeah,
one
you know
dice.
You're fine.
Yeah, I still have.
You're
3
not
left.
fine.
No, that's a 2.
How much stress do you have?
Almost
6.
all.
I'll be
You're
fine.
running up ahead to scout it out. Okay, you.
I'm falling back to the front of the gondolier boat, drawing both pistols, and telling whoever's the closest one on there that some things jumped into the water, and just be ready. I'm here on guard.
Okay. All right, they're like literally just going
That's perfectly fine. I'm just staying right up in line with the
full
front of the boat.
speed ahead. Okay, Shannon.
I'm gonna go ahead and survey as well.
Okay. Do it to it.
Gonna push myself for this.
Probably a good move.
So I have 2 dice, since I, for some reason, have 1 in survey. And this comes down to a 3 and 4.
Okay.
So,
You were running up ahead. You went up a little bit first.
Yeah.
You guys are about a full block ahead. You're running across the lower level docks that kind of run along the canal route, and you go over a little bridge to kind of the next block, and that's when you're ambushed. You go around the corner and you get hit by a baton, like just ambushed. You take 1 harm.
Oh.
You go around the corner, you see him get hit, but now you know that there's at least 1 person around that corner.
I'm gonna take out my gun, and
Okay.
I'm gonna be ready, because I'm gonna go around the corner stealthily, and, or not stealthily, but cautiously, going a bit. Is there 2 corners?
A bit wide. No, you're going like here's a corner of a building. You were running past that to go over the bridge, and somebody jumped out and hit him with a club.
As far as I know, there's only 1. So I'm gonna take a bit of a wider turn here, pull my gun towards down the way, see whoever had a.
You see a scabby looking dude who very likely could be one of the washbucklers, and he's got a wooden club.
I'm gonna point the gun directly at him and say, "Put your hands up now. Drop the weapon."
Command away.
This better work.
Do it.
It's a gun.
It doesn't.
1.
It's not
The gun didn't work.
a very intimidating
The gun
It's a
jams.
Nerf gun.
You didn't even shoot it.
Exactly.
Here's what happens.
Another guy comes around the corner.
You do that, right? And from behind you, you hear this splashing noise. And you see someone who looks like at one point they might have been a human.
I do have Spirit Bane
And
charm.
now they kind of look dead, but they're moving, and they have like, instead of fingertips made of flesh, you just see bone.
Oh.
Like finger bones that are sharpened.
Ah, that's
Is
They
my-
come out and slash at you, so you take 1 harm.
Is my
Look what you
Spirit
did.
Bane charm going off?
Yeah, this isn't a ghost.
Oh.
It's something new.
So it's
No.
the swamp thing. It's the missing link.
It's something. Somebody else got clawed by it too.
Oh, vampires.
Okay, so
Vampires.
Water.
smash cut back to the barge. Are you rowing and rowing?
Yes.
Roll a d6. Tell me what you roll.
4.
You win. You
Yay!
effectively scare tactic and motivate them to back row the barge out of the way, and with your help, just in time, it kind of clears to the side as the 2 gondolas are moving past it. So it's gotten past that first block.
And then as soon as that happens, I want to smash their heads together like
Bonk. Wreck it.
Oh my god.
I don't want to kill them.
He's just gonna knock him around. It's fine.
5.
A lot of
Dang.
2s.
You hit them together. They're not unconscious, but you caused harm to both of their heads, and they kind of like fall back. You notice that they each have like knives, but they hadn't pulled their knives before you did all this.
Okay.
You two, the gondolas are passing successfully by this first obstacle. You've rescued your friend. You're by the water. You have a rope going that's hooked. What do you want to do?
Climb back up, keep going along with the gondolas.
Yeah, no, just regroup onto the gondolas, protect them.
And I am going to put on my dark sight mask I brought.
What does that do?
Lets me see in the dark.
Oh yeah.
Oh, is it dark? He has night vision.
It's
It's
like
always
night
dark.
vision.
even
it's
in
always dark
daytime,
in
it's
night
not
market.
pitch black.
Yeah.
It's kind of overcast,
This guy
very dark.
This guy just has nods.
So you climb up the rope. You both climb up the rope. You grab your rope, I'm assuming, and you put on your mask. An interesting thing. You see something swimming. It seems like one something swimming just under the surface of the water after the second gondola boat.
Guys, there's a thing behind you.
You shout that down.
Yeah.
You hear him say that.
Done.
Immediately
You're
going
the
over
only
the
one
spot.
there because they're full
Yeah,
block ahead.
sniper spotter.
So you're across the
like a
way,
shoot in the water.
and he says,
Just keep my finger pointed on it.
Yeah.
Just going over there and immediately trying to find what he's pointing out.
you see like a disturbance, almost like something's under the water behind the second boat, kind of
He's
swimming.
making the V.
It's not that fast, but you see. I mean, you see.
I
rippling
was
water.
just gauging how fast it was.
Yeah.
Can I load an electroplasmatic bullet into one of my guns, and I'm gonna take a shot at the thing in the water?
Yes, you
And
can.
I'm going to use my. I want to use my
It's still a
dark
normal
mask to
bullet, too.
assist his shot.
Yeah, but it's not going to go anywhere.
Okay, I will say. Here's what I'm going to say. No crosstalk. I'm going to say this. You're assisting him by kind of telling him where to aim. You're like pointing it out, and you're like, nope, right, left, left, right, left. So let's
Up, down,
say
left,
the.
right, left, right, start.
So you're going to assist him take a stress, but you are going to gain a die to your hunt roll.
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead.
How many dice? That's 3.
6.
6, baby.
You see this as the electroplasmic bullet leave. It's almost like a tracer round with this like faint blue glow.
There's like, oh,
This is not how it looks to you, but how it looks to you. You see it go, and you see it hit and strike true, and you see the thing, whatever it was, is like it stops its motion and it's sort of like floundering a little bit in the water.
You did it.
So we don't know he did it yet, but he did.
You're on a barge with two guys who are not knocked out, but they're clearly washbucklers. And what would you like to do?
I'd like to pull out a wooden club. And I want to start beating them both.
Okay, ruck away.
I'm gonna pull out my
they are.
axe.
No, we don't. They're probably washbucklers. It's fine. He's not beating up civilians.
But what the things that
Yeah,
dove
with the
into
things
the
that are in the
water?
water.
You're like, ow, ow, ow. And you hear like bones crack, and one of them's unconscious.
You got a license for this gondola?
Yeah. So you guys feel like you hit this thing, and it's no longer rapidly swimming under the water towards the gondolas, and the gondolas are now moving towards this next block. You saw that and
Right.
heard it because the
It's a gunshot.
gunshot's a gunshot. What do you want to do?
Just seeing it. Is it like, from what I can tell,
You don't see any ripple anymore.
Okay, I'm just gonna keep moving down with the front of them.
Okay. You're going to catch up with them.
And then
Smash cut back to the guys at the corner.
Yeah, so
There's one guy with a club, and he's like trying to hit both of you. So what would you like to do, Philip?
Am I like dying and unconscious? Almost.
no, you're fine.
No, you took. What did I give you?
You
One
just got
harm.
walked.
you only have one.
So
Yeah,
what's your
you're fine.
total harm at right now?
Just one.
Okay.
Well, no, I just didn't know if that
Yeah.
one strike just knocked me out.
No.
He was
I mean,
a 1 out
compared,
of
he
3.
has a
Okay,
minus
well,
die.
still, it's like knocked your head. I would like to quick draw my pistol and try to shoot at the guy trying to club me to death.
All right, go ahead.
Actually, no, I'm gonna push myself for one more.
There you go.
How much stress do you
6.
have?
Okay, take that stress.
Don't worry about it.
It's just one stress. You whip out your gun. You weren't submerged in water, so your gun works. And you shoot him, and he flies back with a gut shot. He's like, oh, drops his club, and he's like leaning up against this wall of this building. You hear from up ahead another gunshot ring out. Shannon, what do you do?
So there's a guy that scratched me from behind, right?
Yeah, he's on you. This strange looking.
So is he per se hugging me?
No, he's
is he
just he's
behind
trying to
me?
like reach for your throat and scratch you.
It's important to know if I can turn around and
You can turn around.
fan the hammer and get him in the stomach, but we'll see.
Turn the hammer with the.
And the hammer.
Yeah, so I'm
flintlock
gonna
pistol.
turn around, shoot him at least in the
To
chest.
be clear, do you have a second pistol?
Do I have a second
Because
pistol?
you just fired a round.
I didn't actually fire a round.
He fired around.
He was the one that fired it.
Oh, my bad. I thought you were coming around to shoot. That's right.
No,
Okay.
I tried. Went around the
All right,
corner.
so you still
didn't
have a
shoot,
load.
like,
So
put your
yeah,
hands
you
up.
can shoot him. Go ahead.
Okay.
Make your hunt roll.
I put 1 in the hunter specifically for this. Let's do this. 5.
Okay. Boom! You shoot him, and it goes into him, and he's like. But here's what I'm going to say. Because you were successful, it buys you a little bit of time. It did not seem to have an impact on this thing
Okay.
in terms of harm. However, it buys you time. What would you like to do?
I'm gonna. Since I fired my one gun, I will put my one gun away and take out a knife and, go a bit backwards and
So you're
away
backing away.
from this thing.
All right,
Yeah.
so you and Filip are both kind of backing away from this thing right by the edge of the water. Back to you.
I would like to take out my second pistol and try to go for a headshot.
No.
On the thing?
The thing. Yes.
Okay, go ahead.
Hey, you never know. It might work.
Yeah.
I don't know
but-
until we try. That's a
6.
It does work.
Yay!
At least insofar as you shoot him in the head, and he kind of freezes up and almost goes like limp, and then falls back into the water. And he's just floating on the top of the water.
Is there any bell?
Oh, that's a good point. Were there
James,
any?
you know what? If there was inspiration in this game, I would give you one. There's no bell.
So these things are
Oh,
already.
cool. We
We
don't
conclude
conclude
that they're already dead.
They are
Okay,
already
cool.
dead.
They were people. But
So,
okay.
smash cut. You're on a barge. You beat up a bunch of guys. Everybody else is about a block ahead.
Okay, I'm just gonna try to kick the guy off the boat now.
Off the
We
barge?
don't want to
Yeah.
get the spirit wardens on us.
Okay.
No, the guy didn't knock unconscious.
God, dude.
6.
Oh my god. You kick him so hard that you hear bones in his ribs crack and he
Please.
splashes into the water.
We need you.
And then I'm gonna jump up onto the ledge, and then I'm just gonna start making my
Start
way.
running. Okay.
Okay.
So you're
10
not like
Just had
so
to
you're,
teach
you're
him
a
a
little bit
lesson.
behind. You guys, after successfully shooting the thing number 2 in the water, what are you doing? You're just running up ahead.
Move ahead.
Okay, so everybody successfully moves forward towards the next block, right?
Yeah.
The next block, totally clear. You guys are just kind of fanned out on both sides.
Yep.
You guys are on, I'm going to say, the right side. You're on the left side, and all of you are on the left side. You're on the upper level left side.
Okay.
You guys are lower level left side, lower level, upper level, right side. All right, so moving along, you guys are kind of making sure that everything is fine. You don't, hear anything, see anything. There's, as you look kind of down the docks along the canal, you see occasionally like people, but it doesn't look like your gunshots alerted anyone necessarily. You don't hear any like bells ringing or anything like that. As you approach the third block, you see that the gondoliers are making their way around. Who's running ahead of the gondoliers? Okay, so you guys are running ahead of the gondoliers.
Upper or lower?
In the route that you're supposed to go, that the gondoliers are supposed to go,
there a
they're supposed to
massive
turn.
blockade?
You guys run up ahead, and both from the upper and lower level, you see not a rope, a chain going across the route. And on each side of the chain, on the lower level, are 2 more guys with batons.
On each side.
Yeah.
We only need to get one. We only need to get one. If we get one, then we can just unchain him. We're fine.
Okay, so I need to know what you're doing. You're upper
You
level on the left
are
side.
A bit behind
Okay.
us. Way behind us, actually.
So
we can
what are you
run.
doing, James?
I'm above them, correct? Mm-hmm. From above them, just both guns pointed down. I'm just gonna yell down, just like, put the chain down. Is it connected to anything? Or are they holding it?
It is wrapped around anchor posts. Huge, like basically like a telephone pole on each side. Yeah, they're not holding the chain.
So we just need to cut the chain.
They already
They already
wrapped
stole
it.
Philip's.
Oh.
And there's 2 guys on each
I
side.
didn't pack
We
any.
used
It
you when you
still
weren't
works.
here.
Just intimidate them into cutting the chain or getting rid of it if they can.
All right, yeah, both guns, one on each one. Just take the chain off.
Okay, let's make that command check.
And by the way, while we're running ahead, I want to specify I reloaded my gun.
Reloading
never
while
shot
running.
mine.
So you're in front.
6.
6.
On the command, yep.
Ooh, my man.
The gun's out. You see
worked
the
against
guys.
them the last time I
So
did this.
not the guys right below you, okay? Because, or are you like leaning straight down, like, hey, put the chain down?
Yeah, like
Okay.
pretty much straight
All right,
down.
so straight down. The guys are like, oh, and they drop they drop their clubs and they back away, and the chain slides down the post. And so like half of it's kind of like in the water, but the other half's going up to the other side. What do you do?
Am I on the side?
You're on the lower level. You're coming across to go over a bridge, and you see across the bridge that he's aiming down at two guys who just dropped their clubs and backed away, and their side of the chain just slid down the post.
We need to get rid of it completely. Unless
I'm
you
just
guys
gonna go out on a limb and try to shoot the other guy that's on my side.
Okay, go ahead.
Oh, the guy
You're
on the
reloading
other
them.
side? Yeah, fair.
You whip out a gun and go, and the guy's like, oh.
Yeah. All right, I'm gonna go down to where the chains are, and
One guy's shot. He's got his guns aimed at both of them.
Yep.
And then you're running up.
I'm gonna try and fiddle with the chain, see if I can undo it and let it fall into the water.
You start. I'll have you make a finesse.
A finesse? Okay. Pushing myself for this. So I have 1 dice.
They basically took chain and knotted it.
Oh. Which dice am I most faithful in? Let's go purple. Yeah, we need you, but you're pretty far behind, and you two need to figure out what you're gonna do.
I'll
for
go
the
to them
chain.
next.
Yeah. It's a 1.
It's a chain.
You were like struggling. You can't figure it out, and as you're struggling, you see that they nailed in some of the links of the chain. So it will need to be somehow like worked through.
Hey, we
I
have
will start a
explosives,
clock
right?
so that for every success that you get, it will take a tick off the clock to deactivate the chain, so to speak. All right, smash cut across the way. You guys, you're running along.
Yes.
On your side, you see 2 guys, and you see the chain situation. Across the way, upper level, you see him aiming down. You heard a gunshot. Filip shot one of them. You see Alex trying to work through the chain. You're on the other side that's not been affected so
I'm
far.
gonna yell to Filip to see if he has a bomb on him. He brought one of his several bombs.
I did.
Okay, I'm gonna.
You did or didn't?
I did.
Can he get across, or can he like throw it?
Do you
want
to throw a bomb to him?
I feel that would be dangerous.
No,
Toss it,
in the
toss
water.
it.
No.
Toss it,
No,
coward.
Hey, listen.
Toss it.
No.
Okay, what are you doing? The 2 guys that see you guys coming, they have like clubs.
Can I shoot one of the guy that has like one of the clubs?
Yes.
Okay, I'll do that.
Yeah.
It's a 5. Cool.
Boom! Oh! You ping him in the shoulder. He drops his club. The other guy's got like one hand on the post with the chain and the other on his club, and you see he kind of backs away for cover.
So you
You're like lumbering along, like, and you hear all these like gunshot, and you hear like, oh.
Could I try pushing myself to run at superhuman speeds, essentially?
Are you
that
using your
is-
special ability?
Yes, my
Yes.
special ability.
Use it. Activation.
Okay.
You kick it into high gear as you realize that the potential threat to this mission succeeding has now increased. And you guys hear like this sound, like when somebody's running on like a wooden deck or like a dock, but it's like, and you see just like around the corner, almost sliding off the dock. That's how fast he goes. He kind of does like a drift. Yeah, he kind of drifts, keeps running. And you see Demon just running at the other guy who you didn't shoot.
Oh God! Oh no!
Make a rec roll.
We need the chain gone, Demon.
Would I be able to?
Well, actually, I'm not going to tell you what to do. What do? You see one guy still standing by the chain on your side, where they are, and the other guy has been shot. He's not dead, but he's been shot.
The guy that's still holding the chain, I'm gonna charge at him, and I'm just gonna full force, like put my body to his body and smash him against the wall.
Oh, excellent. Or against the post?
Yeah, the
okay.
post.
All right, go ahead, wreck.
Dang and Rompa execution.
Does the special ability? Do I
Yes.
also get the 4?
Dear God.
Yes, you have a stupid amount of dice.
All ones.
3.
3's the highest.
1, 1, 2, 3.
Here's what happens. You run past him, you slip on the damp dock, and you go, huh, and you. It's like when somebody tries to skip a rock that's too big, and instead of skipping the rock, it just goes. But the balloon is a huge splash. You're in the water.
Oh boy. Do we still have that rope?
Throw the bomb.
I have a better idea.
No,
Just funnier.
just attach the bottom.
Just a moment. A tick on the timer for the gondoliers arriving at the chain has been ticked.
Okay, honestly, the fastest idea is to literally just blow up the chain.
That's what I'm saying.
What's your idea?
Okay, back to the left side of the canal. Philip.
Okay, so I'm gonna use a flashback and bring thermite.
Nice.
Indeed. Good use of the flashback.
How much stress is that?
It's going to be a 1 stress
Okay.
because it's not something that like would have been special. It's something that you would have had access to.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's 1 stress.
Okay, and then I'm going to put it on the chain itself. Then tinker.
1 moment.
Okay.
You see him come up and he's like, and he starts setting up this little thing.
Oh, okay. I'm gonna
Yeah, you back away
from the
Okay.
chain.
You see him come up with the thing. And by the way, you're right above the post that the thing is on. So
might
I'm just
wanna
telling you
run.
that.
I'm just gonna start moving further down that way.
Okay, so you, all right, good.
We're getting away.
You're going to make that tinker roll.
Please. Well, he can't push himself either.
I could.
I mean, he could.
I could, but you would
and then just.
overload on
Could and then
stress.
just be paranoid.
The choice has to be
Yeah.
made now.
All right, I'm just going for it.
Just go for it. Six. Anyways.
Thank God.
Fantastic.
You said it exactly correctly to give you more than enough time to step away
Then I can grab it
before the fuse goes.
That actually worked out.
We will adjudicate that in a moment. You guys, there's still a guy holding a chain with a club. What do you do?
I'm gonna try and shoot him.
Do you need to reload?
Did you shoot
yeah.
yet?
Another shot.
You're up.
5.
Hey. Okay.
Same thing. Like, oh, he drops his club. He kind of stumbles back up against the wooden wall of a warehouse building that's adjacent, and the chain doesn't fall completely. So it just slides a little bit. So now basically imagine the chain is still there. It could technically stop the boats because it's kind of on the surface of the water where it dips down instead of being taut.
We do have someone in the water.
But I will say that you guys have obtained another tick towards the chains being defeated. Max, what do you do?
No one's holding on to the chains anymore.
No one's holding on to the chains, but you don't know this, but they're secured, right?
Okay,
So
yeah.
you see that they're no longer taut. It's kind of dipped. You could still stop the boats.
Ooh.
Okay, fine.
No, we don't.
If you want, you could try to finesse the chain on your side to get it to drop completely.
I mean, sure. Why
You do
not?
have finesse, so it's probably best.
Do not, but I'll try.
You have 2. What do you mean?
I have
you got
0 points in finesse. That's a 1.
That's John with. Oh,
Okay.
I'm dumb.
You are so frustrated because you're like trying to undo this like knot that they did with the chain, and you see now that there are several nails that kind of keep it sort of tacked to the thing. So you're trying to pull on it, but you unfortunately aren't able to expedite that.
Okay.
Demon in the water. What would you like to do?
I'd like to try to rip the chain from one side off.
So you're in the water. You're going to put your feet up on the dock and pull the chain off of the post.
Yes.
Please roll that rec roll.
Please roll that rec roll.
I'm gonna push
Could you
myself.
imagine if he got 2 6s?
Well, not 4 dice.
4 ones. 6.
6.
You succeed. You basically pull that chain so hard that you guys hear the nails pull out and the chain unravels, and you're like, "Whoop," and that side of the chain begins to come off.
Okay, now we just need to get rid of the chain.
And
Or
that's
take it
when you
off
hear the
canal.
loudest explosion that you've ever heard.
I don't think thermite
From the
explodes.
thermite.
Oh, that's right.
It burns at 3,000 degrees.
Yeah, it burns.
That's when you see the brightest light
There we go.
that you've ever seen in all of Duskfall ever.
Stare at it.
You actually literally have to turn away because your mask, like, it's like looking into an atomic
Flashlight and nods.
You're like, it just goes, and the chain literally melts. But you know what else burns?
Uh-oh.
Big treated wooden posts.
Oh yeah, that's right. I
And it begins to burn through the wooden post, and you hear a loud cracking sound as an entire support post collapses. And the upper level, decking begins to collapse as well.
Thanks, Bill.
The good thing is that your extremely successful attack has defeated the chain clocks entirely. The chain sinks to the bottom. The gondoliers pass by uneventfully without any more complications on this block and continue to pass by. The bad thing is that the incredible amount of sound and burning smoke and flames that are happening would now warrant that perhaps you shouldn't stick around.
Well, we should run away from this as fast as we can.
So you guys know that there's another turn and another bend before you get to the destination.
Yeah,
So who's where? You're still in the water. You guys are on the dock.
I'll move ahead.
wait, no, you have rope,
Yes.
so we can
I want to get him out.
get him out.
So you don't need to use rope to get him out. If he swims over there, he can pull himself up.
okay,
So
never
what are you
mind.
guys doing?
I'll just run ahead.
Okay, you guys run ahead.
And reload my pistol.
Fists in the wall.
Reloading and running. Okay.
Yeah, the same.
You're getting out of the water. You'll be a little bit behind them. You
Reloading and running.
okay? You're reloading and running.
Yup.
Reloading
Running.
and running.
Sprinting away to try. How much is this falling down behind me?
It's
I feel like it's all
gone
in general
behind you.
area.
Oh,
Yeah.
is it continuing or is it just down that
No,
one section?
it's basically made it up to the next support post, which
Oh,
you're
okay.
past.
Okay.
And it I took that into account when I asked you and Shannon what you're doing.
Okay.
So you are the first one then to make it to the next block. You see that the gondoliers are moving through. They make another turn in the canals. You're staying ahead of them. You guys are reloading and running. There's no complications on this next block as it goes through the next stretch of the canal. You guys are running. I guess your special ability still works. You catch up to them. Soaking wet demon is like squish, squish, squish on the docks and
sounds like
catches up
Squidward.
behind
I'm
you.
like mocked.
So you guys all basically are able to reload and catch up, and then it turns again towards this final stretch. And by the way, this is a much nicer area,
Oh no.
much
yeah, that's
nicer
right.
as you emerge towards some of the finer districts. And you notice that like it's actually there are actually like electroplasmic lamps, not like every 20 feet, but like every
50,
100 feet,
100,
let's say. So there's a little more kind of ambient light, and you see lights reflecting off the dark, murky canal. You guys notice as you get to this final stretch that you don't see any. Actually, why don't you make a survey roll?
Yeah, no, it's best if we don't assume that there's no one here. We need
Do I
to-
just take the one or do I?
how much stress can you have? Stress to
I have
use?
some.
Can I assist him in the survey?
Sure.
You guys are kind of catching up. So
Are you survey-ish?
Yeah, I got 2.
Go ahead and make your
Oh,
survey
actually,
roll.
let's
then.
have him do it
Make
then.
my
And
roll?
You
Yeah.
can assist if
Yeah.
you want to.
3 and a 4.
3 and a 4. Yeah.
Okay. You don't see any washbucklers in boats, in barges, or on the docks.
Is there like alleyways?
Oh yeah, I mean they're
Tunnels.
like as you get away from the canals, it's actual land and there's buildings and
What we should
Streets.
is scout out the destination.
From my
you know the destination is a warehouse off the canal, about another block and a half up ahead.
So we need to. Are we here just for the gondolas or for the entire stretch?
You're here to make sure that the gondolas get to that warehouse. Once they're in the warehouse, it's not your responsibility.
Okay, so we need to keep on for all that. So I'd say just go on ahead.
Yeah.
If there's no one here, but it looks like you should probably stay back just to make sure. You're surveyish, go ahead, Demon can go with him. And then me and him are tagging along behind, so if there are anything, we're here. You can go on ahead as well, James.
From my
So you're still the first one ahead?
yes, from my elevated spot, can I check the water?
Ooh, smart. They might be in the water.
I like that idea.
What?
I think you should study the water.
Study.
Or survey, doesn't really matter.
I got one in both.
Okay.
I'll push it.
Yeah, it's probably best to push.
Double six.
Double six.
Oh, double 6. You know what that means? It means that you critically succeed. So here's what happens. You're looking at the water.
water's
And as I mentioned, this area is a little more illuminated. You see reflections in the water, but you don't see anything really in the water so much as what you see the reflections of.
They're
You
on
see
the
the
roof.
reflections of some of the adjacent roofs. And in fact, you see 2 like humanoid kind of figures up on the roof line about 1 building away from the big warehouse. And these, as you look closer, do not look like washbucklers. In fact, they look like uniformed bluecoats. It looks like they have pretty long rifles.
We don't have good
That's what you
relations
see with your
the
mega
bluecoats.
critical.
Who's the closest person to me?
We're
On
tagging
your side of the
behind
docks, they would be, well, yes, but you're below.
you. Yeah.
So they're about 50 yards back and below you.
I'm going to take off back toward them,
Okay?
trying to now hold the side of the wall. And once I get just generally near them, I'm going to drop to my chest and like trying to like hang my head off the side.
Okay.
Yell there. And I'm just going to go down. I'm just going to lean down and go. The bluecoats have snipers. They're trained on this area.
All right,
Okay,
you guys
well-
actually hear Brooks and you look up and you see him leaning over and he says this to you.
Okay, well, the Bluecoats have good standing with the Wongs, and if this is a Wong operation, then I don't see a problem with this.
Unless the new
Unless they're counting us as terrorists.
investigator.
Smash cut to the right side of the canal.
Oh, the new
You
investigator.
guys are all
know
three
that.
of you running around on the lower level of the right side. And you come around the corner towards that last stretch. And you see one blue coat standing there. And he's holding a lantern in one hand. And he just seems to be waiting. And when you come around the corner, he's like, "Oh, good evening, boys. How's it going?"
Good.
Very good.
He looks at you, he goes, "Went for a little midnight swim."
I slipped. I was running very fast.
Right. Hold up right there. I've got a question for you.
Alright.
He says,
You got a license for that water.
there's been some hoodlums around here. We just racked up a few of them. Looks like they were out to mug some people. Thought maybe that to provide this security to you and make your lives a little bit easier, you might be able to donate to the general fund.
I could give a coin.
It's probably
Pull a
best.
nice
Yeah.
coin, hand it to him.
He says, "Oh, coin, yeah, that'll take care of one of the ones that we racked up. How about you fellas?"
It's a scheme. I lost my only coin. This is why we don't gamble. Another one.
You know, we could take donations and trade too if you've got any valuables other than coin.
I have a fine body sword.
I get him a lantern.
What are you carrying visibly?
I got my big axe, my big Dane axe, the big
my-
heavy armor.
Yeah.
3 axes.
I got a Spirit Bane charm.
$17.
He goes, "How about that little necklace?"
Sure.
I'll take it. Nice donation. This will fetch a nice price at the auction for charity. How about you, friend?
Yes, for charity.
I mean, I got kind of a nice spyglass, like in my pocket. I
Oh,
would
that's
pull that
a
up.
beauty. Does it work? Is it cracked?
Oh, it works fine.
Let me see that.
I was paying.
He goes, very nice, very nice. He tucks it into this little bag that he's got tucked into his belt on the side. He goes, "Well, listen now. We've made sure that the rest of this stretch is nice and clear. You gentlemen have a good evening. No disruptions, right?
No disruptions.
Have a nice evening."
Pickpocket him and get our stuff
He
back.
walks around the corner with his lantern, just. All right, minus off those things.
Oh, my coin.
Smash cut back to you. You're hanging over, talking to them,
Yep.
and you hear
Spyglass.
Should have pickpocketed him.
like somebody's tapping a walking stick on the dock right next to you.
Who goes it?
You see a blue coat. He's not carrying a lantern, and he goes, "Well, yes, very finely dressed gentleman there. You must be Mr. Brooks.
Stand up, brush everything off. Yes, that's me.
You could tell your associates down there that the last bit of problems here have been dealt with. Of course, we took it upon ourselves to help you out, so we figured that maybe you'd like to make a donation to the general fund. There's lots of orphans of, officers who've been deceased, if you will. Would you like to donate to the orphanage, you and your lads downstairs?"
Would you accept coin or?
Oh, of
something
course.
else?
Coin's always appreciated.
All right. Well,
You see, we racked up a bunch of hoodlums. They was here, waiting out. They had weapons on them. They would have been a real problem for any nice folks and gentlemen such as yourselves.
Here.
I
Thank-
take the coat I have, like the
He's-
long coat I have on.
You see that that his like walking stick has like a like a cane, like a candy cane, and you see he reaches down and he picks up this this little loop of rope, and you see next to the rope is a bucket, and he throws the bucket over the railing and he just lowers it down. And he says, "You lads down there might want to donate too. It'd be a real problem if we hadn't racked up them hoodlums before you got here."
I'll reach into my trench coat and I'll hand out a really fine bottle of whiskey and put it in the bucket.
Where were you keeping that?
Raises up the bucket and pulls it out. He's like, "Oh, very nice, very nice." Yes. He takes your coin.
trench coat
I take a
holding.
coin and I take the long black like silk jacket I have on over, and I take it off and I fold it and I put the coin on it and I just hand it to him.
He goes, no need. Your jacket's very nice.
I just hand him the
Coin will
coin.
be just appropriate.
Hand him the coin on.
I would have
He
handed
takes
him the
those.
jacket.
He
was gonna
takes,
buy a new
puts that in the bucket. What did you give him, Philip?
Coin as well.
Yeah.
Okay, so he
go
takes
buy a
it
new jacket.
from your side. He goes, "Well, you gentlemen, have a very nice rest of your evening. Hope you have no disruptions. Good day." And he walks. And you guys literally are standing, just casually walking alongside as the gondolas make their way towards the final stretch. And you see as they get a little closer, you hear Jethro go, and he whistles twice like that, and you see these huge doors start to open up into this warehouse, and literally the canal goes into the warehouse.
Yeah, that's cool.
The gondolas kind of slow down, and they sort of do a slow turn, and then they start rowing themselves into the warehouse. And as the second and last gondola gets in, Jethro at the back of it, he nods to you guys and he says, "Good job. I'll make sure to let our employer know that you guys did it well."
Yeah, if you don't pay attention to the destruction.
Or you could just not
What
put
a
it up.
good
Or you could just not
He
pay
kind of
attention.
looks the other way.
Don't even.
So, you guys find yourselves pleasantly finished with the mission. And the following night, you show back up at the Jade Dragon.
Yep.
And you guys go in. Mr. Eddie Wong is there. And this time, you guys are invited to the upstairs. And the whole group goes. Now, I will say this. The guards, when you go into the back hallway, they disarm you.
Yeah.
They lead you to the upstairs, and there's a much nicer sort of layout, sort of a big parlor. And Mr. Eddie Wong is there, who you've met before, but you guys see this middle-aged Aruvian gentleman, very, very meticulously, like, well-dressed, and he's wearing these spectacles, and he looks at you and he says, "Mr. Brooks Columbo, you and your crew have done a very fine job.
Thank you very much.
I was told by the gondolier's captain that all of the goods arrived as they needed to be. There is a matter of some delicate negotiation that was needed that required my attention this afternoon. But I was told by the goodly constables that you were very generous. So it would appear that these washbucklers were taught a little bit of a lesson in manners."
A second time.
I will let you know there's one concerning thing is that there were washbucklers that weren't necessarily alive. They were more like swamp things, if you didn't know about that already.
Yes, well, it is appreciated that you've shared this with us. As I mentioned to Brooks in our initial meeting, the washbucklers apparently have taken some desperate measures to maintain their operations, and in so doing have partnered with some unsavory types. Though I believe you were able to at least deal with those threats in an efficient manner. There was a minor bit of destruction along the way. Apparently some section of the docks needed to be repaired, but I've used our contacts to suggest that this was once again the interruptions caused by the washbucklers that caused the destruction of those docks. He says, "Now then, to the matter of our arrangement. You performed your tasks admirably, And so you each deserve some compensation. And you see he reaches over and opens up this chest and starts laying out some stacks of coins. 6 specific stacks. And then he says, it has come to my attention that your crew, a little while back, did a service for the Lampblacks, disrupting our business to sort of introduce us to Duskfall. Now, the method by which this was done did not sit well with the other members of the Wongs, particularly Mr. Wong. I believe you might have met Mr. Wong, one of you, or several of you?
Yes.
Yes. Well, now you know me. I am Eddie Wong. There are many of us. I have a lot of relatives. He says, my father and his brothers were prolific. So, we have decided that we will forgive the Blackstones.
We look forward to working with you from now on, and we appreciate this opportunity you have given us.
Very good bodyguards. Yeah, very good bodyguard, by the way.
Yes, well, in our forgiveness, we thought that it was appropriate that perhaps you would want to consider a more long-term arrangement.
That would be desirable.
I agree.
We're always looking for work.
Right.
Quite indubitably.
He says, these coins, and he starts handing you guys stacks. So basically, each one of you gets 1 coin.
Nice.
I'm no longer.
He says, in our forgiveness, we will consider you for future possibilities with the Wongs. However, we will need more discretion in the future. There may be some situations that would require a more flamboyant and aggressive means of disruption. Or, in some cases, a bit more subtlety. We will always let you know what sorts of tasks are needed. In general, the Wongs prefer to not make ourselves known. The Wongs reveal themselves when they need to. But there may be some situations in the near future that will require a bit more of a, shall we say, louder message. And I will consider the Blackstones for those opportunities as well. He says, now, I must make it absolutely clear that you are not affiliated with the Wongs as of yet. I will say that we have a good working relationship, and as such I would ask that you not disrupt that with any of our allies. It should be manifestly clear that you should not do anything to upset the tentative balance that we have achieved with the Bluecoats. And it should also be obviously clear that we respect the Lampblacks deeply, as we
Trust me,
do.
we do as well.
Excellent. Then I look forward to our future endeavors. He says, he snaps his finger, and 2 amazing hostesses come in with like little dainty teacups filled with some really strong Aruvian alcohol that you could smell even before you get close to your nose. And he's like, then a toast to our future together, the Wongs and the Blackstones. And he raises a toast.
Ching.
And you guys all shoot it, and it tastes like fire. So, that is the end of this heist.
All right.
Now, we're going to do downtime. So, how does downtime work? We have to think about how to conclude this heist. And I still have to look at notes because it's hard to figure out how to conclude scores. So, this was a success. Yes?
Yeah,
Okay.
totally.
Your reputation was what with the Wongs before?
It was a
Negative
-1.
It is now a +1.
Awesome.
Oh,
So it's not only neutral, but it's
It is, yeah, it is now a
That's a
+1.
neutral.
awesome.
more than I expected.
Now, normally you would get more coin for this kind of heist, but I took that into account when I raised the reputation. So effectively, you're only getting 1 coin, which I already gave you guys.
Right.
That's fine.
Because you basically use this to barter for more reputation, right? You also already paid your tithe to the Bluecoats, so that's done. So the coin you get is basically balanced out what you tithed.
Yeah.
Let's talk about heat.
We do.
You did not acquire heat from the Bluecoats because you paid them off.
Okay.
So that was good.
Because that would have been bad. We only have 1 heat slot left.
Right.
Yeah.
And
drop that.
essentially, I'm gonna consider your position, your starting position from the engagement, and any entanglements if necessary. So, does your crew have any wanted levels currently?
We have
not have any
no
wanted
wanted levels.
Do you have any heat?
We have a pretty good.
We
A
have
bit.
1 away from max.
1 away from a 1.
Okay, I'm going to take that into account and also consider. Okay, good. I've taken into account.
Which account would that be?
I took into account the fact that you have a demonic pack already.
Ah, that's right.
Mr. Chair.
So, in a sort of roundabout way, that bought you off something that did not take place, that did not have an impact on this heist, but obviously it will. Now, there will be things that you'll be able to do, and it's going to be a complex clock to pay off your demonic notice, right?
I know we needed to go to the canal for one of the things.
We did.
Well, we
Wasn't
did
that like an
that was the first thing we
example?
did.
Yeah.
Or, oh,
so,
no. It
so
was,
that, I mean, that was basically
Damn.
Yeah,
one
right.
little wedge of a complex clock. All right, so now we go into downtime activities. So take a look at your sheets. If you have harms, if you have if you have stress, each one of you has 2 downtime activities. So let's go ahead and actually, I want to put this on this show too, so people can see how this works.
Yeah.
So we'll go around the table. Philip, what's your first downtime activity?
Getting rid of some stress by application.
Okay, so you're gonna roll,
5.
and you roll a 5. How much stress did you have?
7, yeah.
Okay, so you
Way too much
reduce your
stress.
stress, not completely, but you certainly do a great job of getting that down quite a bit. And what is your obligation? Oh, working in the record store.
Music store.
It's not really a record store, but
Toots.
working in the music store. Fantastic. So you were able to reduce a significant chunk of stress. All right, James.
First downtime action. I want to make contact with the gunsmith we know, and I want to keep working on that cane gun.
Okay, make a roll.
Make a roll. Another 6.
How many clock ticks did I make that clock?
It was 8. No. Yeah, 8.
Yeah, because it's pretty complex.
Yeah.
And how many ticks do you already have?
3 because I rolled a 6 last time.
Okay, I'm going to let you add 2 more ticks to this.
Woohoo! Man's getting close. 3 more ticks away.
All right, Shannon, what's your first downtime activity?
Yes, I am reducing stress.
Okay.
And I'm going to go to the Jaded Dragon for this one.
Oh, okay, excellent. So you're stupering. Is anyone else stupering? You have a special ability. Talk about that.
Yeah, so I could probably help with your gambling problem as well if we, since there is
You
gambling
can,
tables
because the Jade
at
Dragon,
Jaded Dragon.
is
So-
multiple offerings. Yeah, it offers stupor and luxury and gambling.
Does this take up one of my slots for downtime?
It can, yes.
Okay.
But the benefit is that what? So to reduce
okay,
stress.
So, one of my spider special abilities is called Functioning Vice. When me or a friend indulges in their vice to reduce stress, I can reduce that outcome by 1 or 2, or I can add more to that outcome by 1 or 2. So it pretty much prevents you from, overindulging your
Overindulging.
vice.
Got it. Sure, I'll come with.
Okay,
All right.
so I'll get to you in a second. So you roll yours first.
I only
And how much stress do you need to reduce?
I have 4 stress right now, so either way I win. Unless it's a 1.
Kind of. All right, roll.
It's a 6,
Oh,
and I
it's a 6.
reduced
Wow.
that
So
by 2.
you
so
ease it
it's
off.
4.
You have just the right amount of partying at the Jade Dragon for like a week, and you feel fantastic afterwards. All right, Lukas.
I like to do my heavy armor research with the.
Oh,
Gunsmith.
how many clock components do you have for that?
I have 0 out of the 4.
All right, make a roll.
4.
Okay, I'll say you can fill one of those ticks. No, I'm sorry. You can fill 2 of them. Because a 4 or a 5 would be a partial success. All right.
Yeah, now I'm just gonna go with him and start gambling.
Okay.
The-
What's your stress currently?
4,
Okay, go ahead and roll.
3.
So you hit exactly 4.
Yep.
You clear
Very
your
cool.
stress. You also spend some time at the Jade Dragon.
If it is not too late for me to also go to the Jade Dragon with them, I would like to partake
It's only one
What
other.
is your
Awesome.
vice?
So
opium.
Okay, that's technically what is your stress?
Specifically.
4.
Okay, roll.
2.
Okay, so you clear 2 stress.
yeah,
All
sorry.
right. Round 2 of the
I
downtime.
tried.
Guess
Had to
what?
try.
I'm
so
going
close.
to heal my massive headache. Probably just. I don't know if anyone has.
Our physiker.
We have a
Physiker,
physical
yeah.
that we go
Yeah,
to.
so I assume just. A
Is it
coin.
only 1 harm?
Yeah, it's just one.
Then you don't have to pay a coin. You just go visit the physiker.
That's nice.
They can get a free
They
charge
gave
up.
me Advil.
Because he has the contact.
I love
Alright.
sawtooth
I
is
would like
such a
to
good
train resolve.
Okay. You may go ahead and do that.
I just put 1 XP, right?
Yeah. Now I will say this, since this was done, the engagement roll was actually very good. I rolled a 5.
Ooh, okay, yeah. So we
so
have.
you were in a risky position, unlike last time,
Where
which
we
was
were in
a
a
desperate
des-
position.
yeah.
The pros and cons of a risky position is that you guys did very well with this because you were in a risky position and not a desperate position. But remember that you don't get to check off experience for things that you used for your what do you call it? The action ratings, unless it's in a desperate position.
Oh, okay.
So if you want to train something with downtime, you can.
What about the special ability that counts?
The special ability, if you used it successfully, I
you
think
did.
it has to be desperate too. I'm going to check on that. All right, so you did your thing. You did your thing. No, what's your thing?
We'll also be training resolve.
Training resolve.
Yes.
Okay, mark a slot.
Okay.
All right, Lukas.
I'm going to train my last point into prowess.
Okay.
Get the 2 points. So I filled the bar up and I want to get my 4th wreck dice
My
now.
God.
And
Yes!
that's the highest you can go, right?
Yeah.
Oh, God.
4 wreck. Oh my god.
Can he push himself for 1 more?
No.
I don't think so.
No.
That's crazy.
I'm looking up the training rules right now. Hold on.
4 6s. Quadruple critical.
God.
You send him to the Earth's core.
Either I'm dumb or John Harper made a book that's hard for me to learn. I don't know. When you spend time in training, mark 1 XP on the XP track for an attribute or playbook advancement. If you have the appropriate crew training upgrade unlocked, mark 1 XP. See crew upgrades. You can train a given XP track only once per downtime. Fair enough. Okay. All right, Max, what would you like to do for your second downtime activity?
I am very hurt. I need to go to a physiker.
Okay, how many harm areas do you have?
I have 3 right now.
You will pay a coin,
Cool.
and the physiker will take time to take care of you. Make a roll for me.
Please.
6.
2.
You'll heal too.
Oh, cool.
Thank goodness.
All right.
You're on that 1 harm.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay.
At least you don't
And
have a
John,
minus
what is
dice.
your
Yes.
second and final downtime activity?
I would like to start a project to make a sheath for a blade that cannot be detected on a search.
Oh, like a arm blade thing?
Yeah.
Hidden blade.
Yeah, when they try to
Like in
disarm us, I could
Assassin's
just
Creed.
hide it in there and they can't
That's smart but risky to have on you
I
during
like
negotiations.
that. I don't think that's super complex, so I'm going to say it's a 4-piece clock.
That's pretty good.
Then I'm going to have you make a tinker roll.
Just button.
No, you're going to study first. Make a study roll.
Study the arts of sheets.
1.
Nice.
Okay. I'll say that you have 1 of these ticked.
Huge.
Okay. I'm going to have to continue to look up some of this stuff, but I think we're doing pretty well. We did the payoff, we did the heat, we did all that stuff, entanglements. Oh, we didn't do the crew sheet, though.
Real
We
quick.
didn't do the crew sheet.
Oh, did you?
No,
All
we
right.
did not.
We did not.
So update your crew sheet, so your crew's reputation.
Yeah, so we have.
You
Okay,
got that?
I did the +1 with the Wongs.
Okay.
I assume, did we lose one with the washbucklers?
Yes.
Again?
Oh,
So
I'm
we-
sorry. Where are you at with the washbuckler?
-1.
So
You
now
should be at
minus-
-2 now.
Okay, thank God it's not -3.
we're not going to war with the
As a
fish
crew,
people.
as a
We
crew,
can't
you're
go
at
to war with them
-2
yet.
with the
They're nothing.
washbuckler.
How
We
does
beat the ones.
the XP for the special
Yeah, but
abilities
they're gonna
work?
meddle with us and help.
That's. I need to look up the XP for the special abilities,
Yeah, that's.
'Cause I wouldn't imagine-
which I'm not
wouldn't-
going to do on camera. So, everybody, good job. You guys did it. A mission solved. The downtime run through. We'll look up the other stuff off camera. But thank you for joining us again for the Blackstones, a Blades in the Dark campaign. And as I don't often remember to say, please like and subscribe because it doesn't cost you anything, and we appreciate your support. Also, if you think that we're doing well and you'd like to comment, then comment. Or if you think that we suck, you can give us a thumbs down and comment that as well. Thanks for watching, everybody, and we'll see you next time on the Blackstones. Peace.
Bye.